It's game 22 in the conservation games. We've had a wonderful time so far, and we have two wonderful, wonderful guests with us once again. Jenna Palmer, of course, former Zimbabwe ladies hockey player. She's gone on and coached the ladies after that as well. She took part in the All Africa Games, and she's also worked with the rugby players and the cricketers. Very, very decorated and very, very well dressed this morning.
Thank you. I went to the flea market, got a few extra badges just to make me look a little bit more legit, but thanks.
Absolutely. Nice of you to join us, Jenna. I don't miss the days that you tried to lengthen my hamstring by about 3 centimeters.
There's no fond memories there.
Absolutely. Our other special guest this morning, of course, former Springbok backliner, Stefan Terblanche. Stefan, you look like you're in the office already, but thanks a lot for taking time and joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Jenna. Nice seeing you. Yeah, thanks for getting us involved. I'm actually in the office, but I'm at the office at home.
Okay.
So things have changed a bit with COVID and lockdown over these times, so good to work from home.
Absolutely right. So Jenna will be representing the Buffaloes, and actually she is the captain of the Buffaloes. Jenna, I understand that you've curbed your natural instincts to try and lead from the front and have pushed a couple of your players to start off the games.
I did. I thought I'd just let them set the bar and see what they got, and then I would follow suit. So no, it's good to be here and good to be playing against someone like Stefan and to meet him. And no, I'm very excited.
Absolutely. Stefan Terblanche, of course, representing the Leos. Guys, we're going to go right into the toss. Stefan, I'm not going to give it to you, and you know why, of course.
Of course. Go.
Jenna, is it in my right or left hand?
In your right, please.
It is in my right hand. Well done. You've got the bead. Are you going to...
I get a point for that.
No, you don't get a point for that, unfortunately. Are you going to ask, or will you be asked first?
I will ask first, please.
Okay, that's fine. So you've got the two questions pertaining to your career for Stefan.
Sure. Right. Stefan, first question. Which club did I play for when I lived in the UK for a few years?
Wimbledon.
Absolutely. Very good start. 2 points to you, Stefan. Second question, please. Actually, how long were you in Wimbledon, and how different is it, of course, playing club cricket in Zimbabwe and playing overseas?
I was only there, unfortunately, just for 2 years, just because that's what my work holiday visa was. But I played right from the beginning, and I absolutely loved it. It's a whole nother level of hockey, and your exposure just to that kind of level of playing, and also you've got a lot of international and English players who are in the various teams that you're playing. So it just takes it up a whole notch. So I would have loved to have been there longer. All
right, brilliant. Second question, please.
Right, that was easy then, Stefan. So let's take it up a notch. A standard rugby field is 100 meters from try line to try line. What is the correct length of a standard hockey field?
90 meters.
Yes, I'll give that to you. I'll give you 5 meters either side. You fall well within that. It's actually 91.4. So a very...
Hey, that's close, man.
That was good.
Well done, Stefan. Impressive. Another 2 points to you. You move on to 4. Have you been reading?
You why. Sorry, just quickly, why I sort of know that is that my son's favorite game is hockey. And he did his umpiring course when he was 12 years old. But he made me sit through the course with him. So I still know nothing about hockey, but at least I got some rules.
I was just about to ask how you knew the length of a hockey field. Okay, absolutely brilliant. Good start. You got a couple of questions for Jenna?
Okay, Jenna. So questions about my career.
About your career.
Yeah. I've got a couple. I want. Okay, let's start. Who did play my first test for South Africa against, and what year?
I've read so many facts last night, I could probably tell you what you like for breakfast. So let's see if I can do this. Ireland?
Correct.
The debut in 1998?
I'm old. You correct again. Yes, well done.
Well done, then. 2 points for you.
And maybe a more difficult one. We'll stick to the same test, to the same year. Who was my first coach? Who was my first Springbok coach?
Nick Mallet?
100% correct. Well done.
Well done,
Excellent.
guys. Very, very impressive. How much Currie Cup rugby had you played before you got your Test match debut? And what was, of course, the feeling? It's always such a big occasion to be given your first cap for your country.
Yeah, actually, it was bizarre because I was contracted to the Boland Cavaliers, and then Ian McIntosh came to me at the end of 1997, of course, the coach of the Sharks, and he said, why don't you come to the Sharks on a trial run for a preseason, no contract, we'll see if you fit in, future for you at the Sharks. I said, well, I finished my studies, whether I'm going to be in Wellington or going to Durban, I'm in. So packed in the Toyota Corolla 1100, drove all the way from Cape Town to Durban in the heat of the summer through the Karoo, Bloemfontein, and 6 weeks later, I was selected for the Sharks, and then 4 months later, selected for the Springboks. So I actually played no Currie Cup rugby for the Sharks, a couple of games for Boland in the previous season in 1997, obviously Super Rugby in 1998, and then straight into playing for the Springboks. So it's still a huge step up from Currie Cup rugby to Super Rugby to Test match rugby.
Absolutely. Well, you had a wonderful career. And I used to follow you a fair bit back in those days. Right, guys, you've had a really good start. 4 points each after section 1. We are moving on to section 2, which is the conservation questions. Jenna, you asked first in that first round, so I will come to you first. Does your team know that even though you're leading the Buffaloes, that you are actually more favored to the Elephant?
I do. I liked being the captain of the Buffaloes because when I read up about Buffaloes, it says that generally they have a female leader, and if the female votes, they have to listen. So I really enjoyed that stat. So,
okay.
But I love elephants.
All right, nice. Matusadona National Park is your favorite. Steve Irwin is your favorite conservationist. Why is that?
He was just... if anybody knows me, I enjoy a good sense of humor, and he really had humor, but just so much passion. So obviously he was able to educate everybody around the world, but in such a fun way that attracted children and adults and everybody of all ages. And I just, everything he just did it 120%. And I just loved that about him. His enthusiasm was amazing.
Absolutely. Right. So we've talked about your favorite animal being the elephant. Which part of Africa has the highest population of elephant? Is it North Africa, West Africa, East Africa, or the Zambezia region?
Tina, I was hoping your question would be like, can you spell elephant?
Not going to be that easy.
That's what I was promised.
That might be hard for rugby players, though, so please don't answer tricky questions like that.
Wowzers. Goodness. That is a tough one.
I'll tell you what, I'll be a little bit kind, and I'll let you know that it's a little bit closer to home.
Okay, thank you. Goodness, it's one fact I didn't possibly come across. I'm going to guess Zambezia.
Yes, that's it. Absolutely. Well done. 2 points for you.
Excellent.
You move on to 6. Guys, this is very, very impressive. Let's move right on to your second question. What is the river that forms the boundary of Matusadona National Park and the Omei communal land? This is on the western boundary of the park, furthest from Kariba town.
I do know this because I read it last night. Umi River.
Yes, Umi River for 2 points. You move on to 8. Well done. And of course, on the eastern side, the other side is the Sanyati River. Right, Stefan, backs against the wall here. Opposition are rocking and mauling, keeping the ball in, and they're going to swing it out wide in a moment. Right, so we've deciphered that Hwange is your favorite national park. Can you give me its previous name? Very similar to its current. For 2 points.
I know this, but I can't remember it.
Very similar.
All right. That's enough.
I'll give you. Sorry.
No, Wangi. I know this, but I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Wangi.
All right. I can see the hand coming up. Jen, have you got the right answer for a bonus point?
If I'm correct, I think it was wanky.
That's
it
right.
was indeed wanky. Well done. So an extra point for you. That takes you on to 9. Stefan, we'll move on to your second conservation question. Your favorite animal is the majestic sable. I'm surprised it's not the springbuck. Can you tell us the difference in coloring of the coats between a mature male and a female?
One's obviously the nice black and white, where the female might be slightly grayer, offish color, not as black.
That's it. Well done. 2 points for you. Takes you on to 6, and also brings us to a halftime break. So it's been a pretty competitive start here, guys. Really well done. Jenna, you've snuck a point away from Stefan there. So you go into the halftime break with a lead of 9 points to 6. Viewers, please stay with us. We're going to wait for a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Our wildlife needs help. Tourism to Africa is at an all-time low. You can assist by liking and sharing the conservation games. You can contribute financially by hitting the donate button on the Zambezia.com website. Let's get together and back up the frontline conservation team.
It's Jenna Palmer of the Buffaloes, captain of Team Buffaloes, Stefan Terblanche of the Leopards, and it's match 22 of the conservation games at the halfway stage. Jenna slightly ahead of Stefan by 3 points, 9 to 6. We are moving on to section 3, of course, the section where you quiz your opponent on their career. Stefan, when you're ready for Jenna with her first question on her career.
Yes, Jenna, and I said it was such a moment for Zimbabwe, and here's the captain. Who was captain? Oh, here's the question, I beg your pardon. Who was captain of the Zimbabwe Olympic team in 1980 when the Golden Girls won the gold at the Olympics?
Again, all the stats I was reading last night. It was such a momentous occasion. Try not to get confused of the player who was also the coach. Anne Grant was the captain.
Anne Grant was the captain. That's 2 points for you. Were you born yet?
In actual fact, I was still just a dream.
Okay, all right. But obviously you must have heard the wonderful stories about that as you've grown up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually my current coach now, who's hopefully going to get us all the way up to the next World Cup, is actually Patricia Davies, who is one of the Golden Girls, and she's our current coach.
Okay, all right, brilliant. Stefan, have we got the second question ready?
Absolutely. And by the way, Anne Grant, actually, she lives in Durban, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no ways. Oh, amazing.
I found
Stefan, I know you're a little bit behind on the points, but you're not going to get any points for bringing that up. I'm just...
Hey, I'll try anything. Cool. Okay, next question. You were part of the Zimbabwe team that participated in the Olympic qualifiers in Randburg, Johannesburg in 2015. How many goals did Zimbabwe score at this tournament?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Tino, what's my range?
Ask the match official and
I'll give you a range of 1 because I believe you should know this.
I know, I really should know this.
Yeah.
You know, I have given birth since then, and it turns your brain into like a smashed egg. But I'm going to
go. Okay.
Okay.
It seems to have worked so far today.
We did have a high score when we played Tanzania, so we did get some good goals on the board there. I'm going to say lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13 will work for me. I'll give you 2 points for that. You move on to 13. Stefan, lots of work to do in your last
Did you actually get that right on the button? 13 goals. That's incredible. Good
Did
memory.
I get that right on the button?
It was 12. I gave her one each way.
Oh, okay. I was going to do a little victory lap, but I won't.
Well done,
But a couple of questions to try and get as close as you can to Jenna here before we move on to the wild and wacky.
Okay.
Right, Stefan, having chatted to Joel Stransky, and he was telling me about your Cape Epic ride, he said to me that he called you a stupid forward, but I'm really sure once you answer these questions, that is not the case. Right, Stefan, let's see. You have scored more tries than any other Sharks player in a Super Rugby career, with 35 tries, to your name. Who scored the most points for the Sharks in their Super Rugby career?
The most points for the Sharks in the Super Rugby career, I would have to say Pat Lambie.
Pat Lambie is correct for 2 points. Do you know how many points he scored, or would you like to take a wild guess?
I would say it would be more than 500. I know it's hard. I would probably say between 600 and 800 would be a guess.
666. He was a wonderful talent, wasn't he?
Yeah, and so sad that he had to retire at the age of 28 because of concussion and all the implications of that. But he's up and running. He's back in Durban, so it's good to see Pat around, and he's back with the Sharks as a kicking consultant. So good to have him back.
Yeah, I know he did a half decent job with the boot. Right. One more question. That moves you on to 8, getting a little bit closer to Jenna.
Right, Stefan. In 2010, you were playing centre in the finals of the Currie Cup against Province. Who captained the Sharks in that victory in front of 54,000 in the Shark Tank? And what was the score at half time?
So 2010, is that correct?
2010, yes.
Yeah, I captained the Sharks in 2010 in that game. We won 30 points to 10 Western Province, and the halftime score was 23-10.
Very, very good memory. Another 2 points for you.
Well played, Stefan.
Must have been a massive moment for you, obviously captaining, and then the man we've just talked about, Pat Lambie, with 25 points in that game.
Unbelievable. About 2 weeks before, we played Western Province in a round-robin game at Newlands, and they gave us 40 points. They absolutely annihilated us. We then played one more round-robin game, semi-finals and finals, and that day at Newlands, they scored in the dying moments, and the crowd was, Newlands is very intimidating, and we were behind the poles, and obviously their crowd and supporters were cheering, and, I got the boys together behind the poles and said to them, look, we're going to play these guys again in 2 or 3 weeks' time, so take this all in and just remember this feeling. And, I didn't have to say anything before the final because the guys were still hurting, and we got out the blocks. Pat Lambie, unbelievable. He scored 25 points in that game with 2 tries. That night he got selected for the Springboks as well, and he just man of the match performance. So certainly a great talent, and it was a great day, to have 54,000 people at Kings Park. Unbelievable.
Right. Well done then in that last section. You picked up 4 points from your 2 questions. It brings you within 3 of Jenna, and we are going into, of course, the most exciting, where if you do well enough, Stefan, you still have an opportunity to win this game. It's the Wild Wacky Animation Challenge. Jenna, I was very kind and gave you the toss. I think I will give the first Wild Wacky to Stefan. Stefan, I've got 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your pick.
I'll go for 4, please.
You're going to go for card number 4. The fish, eagle, flap, and call.
That's the one I didn't want. Good luck, Stefan.
It actually hasn't come up very often.
Oh, I know, and that's a tough one.
So you want me to flap like a fish, eagle, and call? We actually got a couple of fish eagles around here, so if you wait long enough and I open the window, you might hear
that.
The real deal. Oh dear. Okay.
That would have been my response.
This could ruin my acting career. I have to say that I did once take part at school in a play. I was a tree in the play, so you know I've got a bit of background in acting and all that stuff.
And you're holding up
Literally.
This might sound like something out of a Jim Carrey movie or something like.
Let's hear it.
Cacao, cacao. Not quite, but it's my best.
Stefan, I'll give you 2 points for that.
Yes, please.
It was the neck that was brilliant.
Jen, you now have a choice of 4 in the same order: 1, 2, 3, and 4.
If I say no thanks, or can I call a friend? Does that count?
No, unfortunately not in the conservation.
I will take card number 3, please.
You will take card number 3. It's the giraffe rocking gallop.
Ah! The other one I didn't want.
Yeah.
All right. Please, may you just give me a moment so I can get into my character. I will be right back.
Absolutely, no problem.
Right, I'm back.
Right, Jen, you ready for us?
As you know, Team Buffalo, we're all about the dress up, and I think I'm a classic case as a contestant here. Is a lot of people like. I do that kind of job. It's what my mom thinks I do what my friends think I do, and what I actually do. So I'm actually a trainer, but most people just see me as a good old aerobics instructor. So I thought I wouldn't let them down today.
Yeah.
A bit of a Jane Fonda finish for the
All right.
rocking giraffe. So I'm just going to warm up a little bit.
I mean, how can I compete against that? Come on.
Absolutely,
I'm now ready.
Stefan.
All right. Here is my rocking giraffe. And that's it.
I have to, brilliant.
Thank you very much, Jen.
And then I will cover up to be family friendly again.
Absolutely. I was going to give you 4 had you probably been in a yellow suit, but I'll give you 3 for that.
Well done.
Thank you, Tino.
Of course, that means that you are today's winner. 3 points taken on to 16. Very well done. Leading the Buffaloes. Stefan, you end up on 12. But thank you very much, guys, for taking part in the conservation games. I know for us here in Southern Africa, it's a very, very early morning, but thanks for taking up your time from your busy schedules. And of course, it's not about who wins the game. It's about the work that we do for conservation in the Zambezia region. And I think maybe before you guys head off, if I can just have some parting words from both of you on conservation.
Jenna,
Sure.
you go first.
I'll go first. Thank you. Thank you very much, Stefan. It's an honor to play you and to meet you. And thank you, Tino. I just love what this whole initiative is about. And I know, having watched the previous games, that a lot of people have sort of said the same thing. But obviously, having a little girl of my own now, I'm just so much aware of how very lucky I am to live in Africa, let alone Zimbabwe. So I literally have this beautiful wildlife and you know these beautiful areas right on our back door, and that's why we choose to live here. But also now, looking at the world through my little girl's eyes, I just realized how badly I want for her to experience what I did in my childhood and what I was able to see and the game parks that I was able to go to. And I really just hope that we create this awareness to protect our beautiful species and our land so we can take our future generations there. So I'm really all behind what everybody is up to. So thank you. And thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Jen. Stefan?
Thanks so much, Tino. And I couldn't agree with Jenna more. Thank you for what you guys are doing. I genuinely believe that people in this world, they want to do good. Often they don't have the platform, and often they get maybe misled a little bit. But what you guys are doing, giving people opportunity and making sure that we preserve and we look after all of this for our kids is incredible. We're incredibly proud to be a part of it and to play a small part, and hopefully our kids and their kids will still enjoy what we enjoy in South of Africa. with regards to the wildlife. I just want something to finish off about Jenna. When I did my research, something I think everybody should know that's out there. And one of the ladies that I asked for a bit of advice and a bit of a background, she said she is the fitness instructor, the coolest dancer at the Interprovincials. She is the reason every South African team flocks to watch the Zim team dance. So Jenna, when I saw you doing your dance there, I now agree with what this lady was talking about. So thanks so much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Obviously cannot doubt Jenna's enthusiasm, but even yours in today's contest, Stefan. Guys, thanks a lot once again. Just before you head off, thank you very much to the viewers for watching yet another conservation game. We had Jenna Palmer, who is captain of the Buffaloes, winning by 16 points to 12 over former Springbok Stefan Terblanche. Please, when you get some time, can you go onto the website? It's www.zambezia.com. Lots of wonderful work being done in the Zambezia region with regards to conservation, and an opportunity for you as well if you would like to take part and be a part of conservation in the Zambezia region. But guys, thank you very much. Until then, that's all from the Conservation Games.